Reading from Srila Prabhupada's Leela as it is. The Manu Samhita explains the duties of an Acharya, describing that a bona fide spiritual master accepts charge of disciples, teaches them the Vedic knowledge with all its intricacies, gives them their second birth. The ceremony performed to initiate a disciple into the study of spiritual science is called Upaniti, or the function that brings one nearer to the spiritual master. One cannot be brought nearer to a spiritual master, cannot have a sacred thread, and thus he is indicated to be a Shudra. The sacred thread on the body of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya is a symbol of initiation by the spiritual master. It is worth nothing if worn merely to boast of high parentage. The duty of the spiritual master is to initiate a disciple with the sacred thread ceremony, and after this samskara, a purificatory process, the spiritual master actually begins to teach the disciple about the Vedas. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23 and Text 55. Sangaha Yaha Samsrute Hetuhu Sango Yaha Samsrute Retu Asatsu Vihitaha Adhiya Asatsu Vihitodhiya Saha Eva Sadhushu Krutaha Sa Eva Sadhushu Kruto Nisangatvaya Kalpate Nisangatvaya Kalpate Sango Yaha Samsrute Hetu Asatsu Vihitodhiya Saeva sadhushu kruto Nisangatvaya kalpate. Sangaha, association, yaha, which, samsutehe, of the cycle of birth and death, hetuhu, the cause, asatsu, with those engaged in sense gratification, vihitaha, done, adhiya, through ignorance, saha, the same thing, eva, certainly, sadhushu, with saintly persons, krutaha, perform, nisangatvaya, to liberation, kalpate, leads. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation: association for sense gratification is certainly the path of bondage, but the same type of association performed with a saintly person leads to the path of liberation, even if performed without knowledge. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The association of a saintly person in any way bears the same result. For example, Lord Krishna met many kinds of living entities, and some treated him as an enemy, and some treated him as an agent for sense gratification. It is generally said that the gopis were attached to Krishna for sense attractions, and yet they became first-class devotees of the Lord. Kamsa, Shishupala, Dantavakra and many other demons, however, were related to Krishna as enemies. But whether they associated with Krishna as enemies or for sense gratification, out of fear, or as pure devotees, they all got liberation. That is the result of association with the Lord. Even if one does not understand who He is, the results have the same efficacy. Association with a great saintly person also results in liberation, just as whether one goes towards fire knowingly or unknowingly, the fire will make one warm. Devahuti expressed her gratefulness, for although she wanted to associate with Kardam Muni only for sense gratification, because he was spiritually great, she was sure to be liberated by his benediction. The Sanskrit Bhaktivedanta purport: Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat. Translation: association for sense gratification is certainly the path of bondage, but the same type of association performed with a saintly person leads to the path of liberation, even if performed without knowledge. So we are reading from the chapter Devahuti's Lamentation, and here she is mentioning about her association with Kardama Muni. Her lamentation is that she has associated with such an exalted saintly person, but only for sense gratification. But still, since she has come to a pure devotee, she is hopeful that her path of liberation is wide open. Prabhupada is giving the example that when you approach the fire, whether you know the power of the fire or do not know, still the effect will be there. One will become warm by coming in the presence of a powerful fire. So similarly, if somebody approaches Krishna or the spiritual master with ulterior motives, ultimately they will also become purified and then attain liberation. Because the spiritual process doesn't require the material intelligence, great knowledge, or some expertise in language, etc. The spiritual process is different. Spiritual association with a pure devotee is so powerful that the path of liberation will be wide open. Even if they do not understand, if simply somebody hears this sound, the Bhagavatam sound, Bhagavad Gita, or the spiritual sounds which are recorded in various Vedic literature, then one becomes elevated spiritually, whether he knows or he doesn't know. So this is the power of that spiritual association. We know Narada Muni example. He was a child, 5 years old child, and then assisting his mother in her maid servant duties. And then during the Chaturmasya, like this kind of a period, she got an opportunity to serve these Bhakti Vedantas who came to stay in the house of her master. So this, and so automatically they, maid servant, so she gets the plates, she gets all those things, she has to wash them and then again, make it available for the next serving and all those things. So when the Bhaktivedantas were staying in the house and then they are giving their association by glorifying Krishna, and when the child and the mother, they also used to get a chance to listen to those messages. What will the child understand? Any language or some big Vedanta philosophy and all that. He is simply sitting and then is hearing. And then it is said that one day he took some prasadam, the leftovers of these pure devotees. It is called Maha Prasad. Prasad is very powerful and Maha Prasad is even more. And Narada Muni, he took that Maha Prasad and with their permission, and Prabhupada writes in the purport that you can take those remnants even without permission. So he took those remnants and immediately Narada Muni, as a child, he felt completely drawn towards these Bhaktivedantas. He became infected with the pure devotion of such exalted Vaishnavas. And then he became so fascinated that as a child he stopped to even play, the childhood games and sports. Generally children, most of the time they want to engage in sports and games. They don't want to even go to the school. That is the kind of attraction they have. And then here we see, as a child, he is not at all attracted to such activities, considering them as waste of time. He was so fascinated that he wants to listen more. He wants to hear more. Now this is an indication of progress. Somebody who is progressing in Krishna consciousness, he becomes addicted to this hearing process. He becomes drawn to hearing attentively these wonderful messages which are depicted in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And so, that's how, of course, the pastime of Narada Muni continues. And although he is a child, but he became so fascinated that he pursued that path. And finally he became Narada Muni, the most exalted Paramparacharya, great devotee of the Lord. And so this is the power of association. In our day-to-day life, every moment it offers us an opportunity to open a door. Every moment we have an opportunity to open actually two doors. If you associate with a pure transcendental personality, it opens one type of a door. And if we associate with unholy personalities and take unholy association, then it opens a completely different kind of a door. Every moment we have this, opportunities are there. You can knock on the door and associate with a pure devotee, or you can knock on an unholy association. This is the opportunity that is there for everybody. In fact, the living entity has free will only in this, that he has to choose, he can choose the association. Lord Chaitanya, while explaining to Sanatana Goswami, he summarizes the behavior of a devotee. The essence of devotee's behavior is that he completely avoids unholy association. He completely avoids. Asatsanga tyag, Vaishnavachar. This is Vaishnavachar. And then Prabhupada explains what is this unholy association. There are two categories in this. One category is that associating with a person who is too much attached to sense gratification, who is too much attached to sexual life. There is one kind of a person. One is, to associate with those sense gratificatory thoughts in the mind. But here it is mentioned, if you associate with the people who are too much attached to this sexual enjoyment, that is one unholy association. And then the second one is one who doesn't believe in Krishna, one who doesn't accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His association is also unholy. We should not even see their faces. What to talk about watching their videos and then trying to see how we can refute and this and that. Not required. Devotees are interested in positively engaging in the association of Krishna. Jai Radha Govinda ki. The most merciful contribution of Prabhupada is that on this world is that he gave his association through his purports. This is the biggest treasure. The planet is still considered fortunate because Prabhupada's association is available. Maya is so powerful, it wanted to take away Prabhupada's glory and make him as a some kind of a past acharya, the acharya who already left. Now you need some other books or some other gurus. Maya's attempt was like that. But Krishna is kind that he still made this planet fortunate by making Prabhupada's association available as one's Diksha Guru. And how is it that the Prabhupada's association is still available? In his books. This is an extraordinary opportunity. By reading Prabhupada books scrutinizingly, and then doing our chanting and sadhana nicely, one can happily progress in this path. And whatever obstacles that may seem to be there in the progress of the spiritual life, they'll all go away by this association. Guru's association, Prabhupada's association is so powerful that those words will transform the heart, and those words will cut down these obstacles. Whatever is trying to pull us down, those things will be removed from the heart if somebody gives proper attention to these divine messages, simply by hearing, with careful scrutinizing attention. One has to be eager to take this association. But Maya is always is present, is active, and if a devotee is progressing, Maya will also bring a lot of obstacles. And one of the qualities of Maya, one aspect of Maya is that even if one doesn't get this association, even if one doesn't read the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, whatever, for many, many days, still one will not feel any, anything is lacking. He still feels comfortable. After coming in touch with Prabhupada, his books, his association is available amply, very widely, but still Maya will enforce. One of the characteristics of Maya is that even if you are missing all these things, still we will feel comfortable. The first red flag has to be raised if somebody misses reading Prabhupada books just for 2 days. Third day he has to he has to just jump into the association of Srila Prabhupada's books. Devotee should know when to raise red flags for himself and for others. But the problem is, whoever is there in Maya, he doesn't understand that he is in Maya. Then where is the problem otherwise? He'll go on, life goes on, everything is going on. Doesn't even feel a pinch. That's why the Acharyas have recommended that one should practice Krishna consciousness in the association of Vaishnavas. Why? Because if we are in Maya, at least somebody will say, hey, you are in Maya, wake up. At least somebody can say and alert us and again bring us back to the right path of Krishna consciousness. This is important. Whether we are practicing outside or inside, this devotee association is very important. Even if you are practicing outside, and let us say you meet a Vaishnava, you will ask the first question, how is your chanting? And the next question will be, how is your reading? And at least at that time you will realize, Prabhu, I think last 1 month, 2 months, there is no reading. So at least the Vaishnava will say, no, this is not good. Maya slowly into your consciousness. Little by little, take away. Your consciousness goes away. And then as the consciousness, if it is fiery, You will be jubilant in Krishna consciousness. You will be jubilant about service. With full energy you will be rendering your services. And that devotee will be very confident in his life. The consciousness is fiery. The consciousness is already chipped away by Maya, little, whatever way. Then the consciousness is dull. And then so no energy, no confidence. Everything is a problem. This is the problem of making the consciousness very dull. So Maya influences the consciousness, and if Maya influences, then the consciousness becomes dull. But if you touch Krishna, consciousness becomes fiery. Now the choice is ours. If we chant nicely, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and then able to hear nicely without deliberately thinking of any other subject, without deliberately thinking about some issues, challenges, health, this, that and all that, but really respectfully hear the sound, that is like keeping yourself in the fire, massive fire, the unlimited fire of Krishna. And then your consciousness becomes very brightened. That day everything looks like very nice. You're floating in the sky. From here to ashram you are going very slowly, but from ashram to temple hall very fast. You're almost like flying like a bird and then reaching here. You want to be in the temple hall. You want to be in the services. You want to be in the area where deities are there, festivals are there, devotees are there, kirtan is there. This is your mood. And if the consciousness is dull, then we'll remember how I can somehow escape and go to the ashram, my room, and then take a little bit of rest here, rest there. Consciousness becomes very dull. Life is not meant for this. Such a great opportunity is given. These books are full of fire. We are not able to see, but actually there is a lot of fire in this. If somebody can take advantage of this association, then his consciousness becomes brighter. So Maya has two ways of influencing our consciousness. One way is, as I said, even though we miss out on our reading or sadhana, we don't feel any pinch. This is called avaranatmika. It covers up your consciousness. You forget what is the welfare of me. You forget what is good for me. That is avaranatmika. And then the second characteristic of the Maya is that even if you are very bright and going up, it will try to pull you down. This is second aspect of Maya. It tries to pull you down. Prakshepatmika. How it pulls you down? By offering various distractions. Some beautiful object, some beautiful something in the material world, and then it'll prakshepatmika means it'll try to pull you down. And you're flying, and suddenly you're on the ground. And so again we need association. Then again, Prabhu, this is what is happening. We have to take care. This is called cultivation. We have to cultivate our consciousness. And the soul is the gardener. You are the gardener for your own consciousness. You have to carefully ensure and to put proper seeds. You have to put proper water, and you have to cultivate your consciousness. And our surroundings, our association, these are all impacts this consciousness. The kind of environment you are there, the kind of surroundings you have, the kind of people, the kind of language that they're talking, the kind of subject matters they discuss, all these influences our consciousness. And if those subject matters, if those vibrations, everything is completely centered around sense gratification, our consciousness becomes very dull. In fact, if somebody is too much attached to sense gratification, his consciousness will become like stone. Such dull it will become. Can't understand anything. Actually, in the Bhagavatam it is explained what happens to the this kind of a unholy association. If somebody takes the unholy association, so let us say we are surrounded by people, surrounded by subject matters which are connected to Shishnodhara Kritodhyamai, Shishna and Udara. That means the subject matters are about how to eat nicely, and then how to enjoy sexual life. It's all about satisfaction of the tongue and the genitals. If the subject matter is only this, then that is unholy association. And then if somebody falls for it, then what happens to him? It is said that he becomes devoid. He loses. What and all he loses? As his consciousness becomes dull and absorbed in sense gratification, he loses truthfulness. First of all, he will start with lies. Hey, Haribol, don't see some bad movies, or don't see some bad pictures. And then, I never see. I never see any of those things. The first thing is truthfulness will go. And then cleanliness will go. He will not be clean in his habits. Very lazy and not clean. And then mercy, he loses his mercy. In fact, he becomes more and more aggressive, cruel, indecent in his behavior. And then gravity of thought will not be there. He is not deeply contemplating on Krishna conscious thoughts, because he is floating in in the waters of sense gratification. He doesn't go deeper into associating with the spiritual knowledge. That will go. Then spiritual intelligence will slowly go. Because when he is trying to see something, if he is trying to take some forbidden association, spiritual intelligence will be very active. It will say, no, don't do this. There is a conscience. Krishna will warn, Paramatma will warn, but then he neglects all that. And then slowly he will lose spiritual intelligence. Then shyness will go. He is no more shy in front of the senior devotees. He is no more this thing. They become very indecent. And then austerity will go. He cannot attend sadhana, morning program. He cannot fast. He cannot do services. These are all austerities. Slowly these things will go away. And then fame, because he is known as a saintly devotee, that fame will go by his looking at his behavior. And then forgiveness, he will not be able to forgive people. He keeps everything in the heart, and then he feels revenge. He feels anger in his heart. This is one more problem. And then control of the mind will go. Control of the senses anyway. And finally, fortune. Fortune and all such opportunities will go. You can see, if we comes in contact with unholy association, what is the cost? How many things a person loses? He loses his fortune and all other opportunities. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita says it's a great fortune to come in contact with this movement. Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. To get this seed of pure devotion is not ordinary. So such extraordinary opportunity is there for us, and we are still more fortunate because we know Prabhupada is our spiritual master, and we are extremely fortunate because he is our Guru, so we have to read his books and then take his association on a day-to-day basis. In some other camps, and they don't read Prabhupada books. They'll say, no, you are initiated, you read my books, and keep away all the other previous acharyas' books aside. This is what they are. So that way our fortune is triple dhamaka. You have Prabhupada as a spiritual master, his books are there, and we can read, we can relish, sit at the lotus feet of spiritual master Prabhupada, and then hear his Vani. Go on reading and absorbing, drinking. Sutta Goswami's qualification is that he drank Bhagavatam. When Shukadeva Goswami was explaining, Sutta Goswami was there in the audience. And how is he listening to his Guru? He just drank everything like a hungry and a thirsty man. Sometimes in the summer you drink water, no? It's like that. He just drank. How did he drink? Through his ears. We can drink through ears. This is Bhagavatam's, the correct way of receiving Bhagavatam is that we should drink through the ears. So then the devotee will make tremendous progress, and all the obstacles that may come to him will seem insignificant, and with little endeavor he can easily cross over and then lead a bright Krishna conscious life. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, how to overcome the mind's influence that it seems like sometimes even though a service can be postponed or delayed, we give more weightage for service rather than reading some days. So how to overcome this influence of mind?
So you're saying there is a service, and then because of the service there is no reading happening.
Even though the service can be postponed, but we are unable to sometimes prioritize or
yeah, actually for ashram missionary, FTM, full-time missionary devotees, or even outside devotees also, the main issue is about management of our various services. We are so fortunate, we are dipped into an ocean of services, an ocean of Krishna consciousness. So our goal is to ensure that there is a balance at the spiritual level. If you do more service and let us say don't read, or if you only read and don't do any service, or if you only chant and don't do anything else, all these things are extremes. Prabhupada has designed our day-to-day life in such a way that we have to balance. So, morning sadhana and then reading 1 hour is also part of sadhana. So, everybody has to do this. And then after that, one should be absorbed in service. Now let us say there is a festival coming up, and then a few days you are very busy. 1 or 2 days, as I said, you can go on. Third day, you have to raise a red flag. So, Prabhu, I am not getting time. So somebody else will help you. See, this mind's tricks, influence can be overcome only by association. You approach the devotees, and then your authorities, your seniors, then they'll give you some tips. Now, coming to managing our services, ever increasing services, devotee also should intelligently plan these services, how to handle these services. Nowadays technologies are available, apps are there, mobiles are there, so many systems are possible. Each devotee can expand this service many more times by carefully taking advantage of all these tools and technology that Krishna has revealed to this world. We can use based on our services. And if the services are even more, we can have more hands supporting our services. We can have more of these systems supporting our services. So like that, despite all these things, let us say you are not getting sufficient time to read. One thing is that either you are just in the name of service, you are just skipping your reading, or you are genuinely busy. So one has to do this kind of an introspection to see whether deliberately he is some devotees may not like to read. The mind is like that, it automatically rebels. Sometimes they may feel the Prabhu in the karmi life also I was not a good student, I never used to read, or I was not a proper student, like that. But actually those are all artificially you're putting limitations on yourself. Okay, that could be our material life. This is we are in a different environment and we are in a different life. You got a new life now. As soon as you are initiated, that means you are born again. You're a new life. It's a new life. So why don't you start a new life? Now you become very studious, very nicely reading and hearing or whatever. This is important. We should know that I am a different person now. I am an eternal servant of Prabhupada and Krishna. One cultivates that new life. You cannot just leave it saying that no, I was like that only. Now how can I change? I was like that only. How I can? No. We came here to change ourselves. You look at the transformation in Narada Muni. You look at the transformation in some of these exalted devotees. Completely transformed. And even, in fact, our own lives were completely transformed because we took this message seriously. That is the power. It all depends on how a devotee takes it up. One line of Prabhupada can strike the devotee, and then there can be complete transformation in his behavior. This is the power. So we should not again bring back our old designations into our life. Again, don't identify with your old baggage. I am that, I am this and all that. I am an eternal servant of Guru and Krishna. My Guru, what he wants, let me read. Let me understand where did Prabhupada is feeling so excited about Krishna. How is he doing his services? He says when he read Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport to one Bhagavad Gita verse, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, it struck Prabhupada. There in the purport it is mentioned that one should accept the order of the spiritual master as one's life and soul. It looks like a normal sentence for us, but it has struck Prabhupada. it is my life and soul. Guru's order is my prana. So he that immediately brought a big transformation. One line. So similarly, if you associate with Prabhupada, and certainly Prabhupada is expert, he will strike you, and then whatever is holding you back, it will all be destroyed. Will progress now. So if you understand this value, then you will automatically adjust your life carefully to ensure that you read. But one more thing is that don't wait for 1 hour to come. So 1 hour or 2 hours I should have nicely everything, and I'll somehow read this 2 hours nice. No. Whatever time you have available, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, in that give complete attention, read, then again next 15 minutes or whatever, in a day, try to catch up. Devotees are, in terms of managing time, devotees are very professional. They are nothing less compared to outsiders. Recently one big business tycoon, he passed away. And then how did he become so big? Because he knows how to use his time for business. Every second is crores for him. If he can 1 hour more he does something, it means crores, it means millions. That's how they become big. They know how to work, completely utilize their times. So similarly, a devotee is also like that. He is extremely professional in his managing his various aspects of his life. Okay, in a simple this thing, what I am saying is it's all about managing our time cautiously and ensure that somehow we catch up 60 minutes a day at least. In the beginning years, say up to 3 years, I would say one should even read 2 hours per day. It's not about time actually, it's about carefully utilizing the time. We are thinking, should I compromise service or should I compromise this? Actually, you should compromise laziness, can compromise wasting of time. Simply we will be spending so much time here and there. If we can save all that, then easily we can get 60 minutes and even more than that. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.